The old house was designated by the city as a protected historical site. The owner, who usually stays downtown, simply locked up the village courtyard that he is too busy to take care of.
Our house includes 3 large rooms, a kitchen we're principally involved, and a maid's room, which lies vacant, since no servant could be secured all those months now. Though, theoretically, we still can afford.
这个地板是当时铺的。
当时铺的，然后这次嘛，你终于画了一下子，这个你看都是过去的壁炉啊，这个是。这个在南方的东西很少的这个。你看它这个是还有个金幽灵啊，金幽灵就住的这一节了。
During the spring, Lao Qin has one extra room built, attached to our main house on the side. Thus, the whole of Peizongbuhuten group is at present intact, but heaven knows for how long now. My parents spent their life savings on the house. Even some of Grandma's jewelry was put into this. Mom added some basic decoration to the home, installing a crude wooden floor, putting up a little bookshelf on the wall, and putting down a piece of cloth over the wooden stool beneath it. Mom would often put a big bouquet of wildflowers in a clay vase.
当时我就感觉那个房子马上就感觉非常的，然后现在的话就是非常温馨，就舒服极了。我当时就觉得，那时候我是不太注意这些事儿的，什么建筑了、装修了，我那时候是不太注意这。当时觉得我妈真神，怎么这么一下子就把这么一个破房子啊，搞得这么舒服，这么可爱。只要有一点条件，她就要把自己的生活搞得。
In this cute little sitting room, under a kerosene lamp, Mom used to explain to us the stories of the philosopher Zhuangzi. She also taught us poetry by Li Bai and Du Fu, especially the poems that Du Fu wrote in Sichuan, which felt nearby to us. Mom often took us to the neighboring village to watch the old master craftsman making all kinds of bowls and pots on his wheel. She was amazed by the beautiful shapes that emerged under his hands. She would shout at the craftsman and beg him to stop. The old man, of course, ignored this crazy woman who came from a distant province and kept working on his pots with composure. Every time Mom told this story afterward, she would break out laughing. Their days in exile at Longtou village contained fleeting moments of sunshine for Lin Huiyin.
Your letter came this time a day before the Moon Festival. The weather at this point was turning cool, with more and more autumn glow of flooding light. Scenery was glorious. Everywhere, fragrance edged the air. Wildflowers remind one of thousands of the nicest feelings long forgotten. And the morning or afternoon, the sun steals in curious angles to one's aching sense of awareness of quiet and beauty amid a helpless world of confusion and disaster. And now it is festival time. It seems more like an irony of logic than like Lao Qin said this.
It was the first time the Liang's children had lived in the countryside. They didn't have to go to school and had their days free to themselves. The daughter kept a diary which detailed her happy life in Longtou village.
One afternoon, Mom lay outside basking in the sun. She asked me if I had done my homework. I said yes. Actually, I only wrote in my diary and did nothing else. She seldom checked on me because she trusted me, but I abused her trust. That was really wrong of me. I wanted to do homework, but I was bewitched by Kung Fu novel. I wanted to pull myself back, but I couldn't.
当时我妈大概希望我能够主动的给她当个小帮手吧，帮她一点忙。而我呢，我就老看书，那时候爱看小说。
Lin drew a cartoon for her daughter, who was spending all her time reading novels. She wrote, "An avid reader such as yourself must remember not to be like the person in the cartoon, or else at the very least I will never have a son-in-law." The research institutes gradually resumed work, and the children began to enjoy their carefree life in the countryside. But the expanding warfare soon put an end to this. In September 1939, just as the Institute started its study tour of the Southwest, Hitler launched his blitzkrieg attacks in Europe. In June 1940, France was occupied. In September, the French-controlled Indo-Chinese peninsula fell to the Japanese army. Yunnan province, bordering on Vietnam, was in jeopardy. All the research institutes relocated there now had to be moved once again. By then, the Liangs had lived in their new house on which they had spent all their savings for half a year. While the Liangs packed for a new journey, bad news came. Flooding had inundated parts of Tianjin. The drawings and films that the Architecture Institute had stored in the underground vault of the foreign bank had suffered serious water damage.
我这辈子都没看到我父亲流过泪，他是不哭的。我从来没看到我父亲哭，但是那次这个听到照片，听到他这批资料损失了以后，他跟我母亲都伤心的不得了，我父亲都哭起来了，他说。
The Institute of History Philology of the Academia Sinica is moving to Sichuan, so we go along too. We are AS Parasite as far as library facilities are concerned. We feel very sad about this moving. It means away from a group of friends we have been with for over 10 years.
Before leaving Kunming, Liang wrote to the Fairbanks for help. He asked if they could recommend his article, In Search of Ancient Architecture in Northern China, to National Geographic magazine. If it was accepted, he asked that they use the royalties for a 2-year subscription to Reader's Digest, 2 years of Architecture Forum, and 1 year of Time and National Geographic.
We are so short of reading matters and reference books here. We, Lao Jin, Duan Sheng, Phyllis and I and friends shall appreciate it so much if every now and then you'll send us some out-of-date bestsellers that you pick up from some second-hand book shop. We are thirsty to read things from left to right instead of from top to bottom. While I am typing this, begging for books, I discovered Phyllis writing Wilma for old clothes. It seems we actually turn beggars.
In December 1940, in the depths of winter, the Institute for Research in Chinese Architecture embarked on its journey to Sichuan Province, along with other units of Academia Sinica. 3 years ago, these scholars from top academic institutions had moved from Beiping to Kunming. Now, with the heavy loads that supported their intellectual aspirations, they again set foot on the interminable road of exile. As Zaibing noted in her diary, her mother took her to buy medicine for her feverish younger brother. They passed by a local Confucius temple.
那个庙已经改成个小学校了，他就一定要去看那个庙。我呢，一去以后，我们刚去了以后，那小孩就来围观，你知道，一大堆小学生把我围起来，我非常就恼火，我坚决不肯进去，我母亲非要进去不可，我非不肯进去。 结果我母亲熬不住了，就没有进去吧。后来我母亲回来就发火了，就是回来就训了我一通，就后来那篇训话我还记在我的这个日记上的，所以现在还有点印象。
Mom said to me, "Why are you so upset? When we come to a place, we need to see it properly. We must visit the county government, the Confucius Temple, and also appreciate the layout of the streets and the construction of the city walls. I want you just to check out what is for sale in the shops."
我当时我心里很好笑，我觉得我才11岁那个时候，还不到11岁，我觉得跟我说这有点对牛弹琴呢。我觉得我又不是搞古建考察的，我又不搞你们这套，我怎么会懂呢？但我后来我想，他那天呢比较恼火，是因为我父亲不在。我相信那天要是我父亲在，他两个一定进去大大的考察一番。反正我妈就是这么一个人。
After 15 days of travel, on December 13, 1940, they arrived at Lijiang, a small